still... Can't do my intro with that thing up there. Welcome to Shadow Alley. On this channel we talk about horror movies and silicone masks, and where a man goes into debt buying expensive novelties to fuel his filmmaking pipe dreams. Yeah, that's probably about right. So if you're into that sort of thing, feel free to subscribe and stick around. So I have this big, ginormous, ridiculous box right here. You know you're gonna hurt yourself. And here's one of the perks of being a YouTuber. I had a really nice guy named Eli get a hold of me and say that he had 2 masks that he was trying to get rid of, and he was about to put them on eBay, and he was willing to give them to me instead for an unbelievably low price. So if these were on eBay, they would have probably gotten nabbed really quickly, but since I'm on YouTube and since he saw me on here buying silicone masks, he reached out to me first and I got first dibs, and I picked them up because it was an outrageously good price. So I got 2 Immortal Masks and 2 head forms shipped for less than the price of 1 single mask. Couldn't pass it up. Don't really have any plans for these, but needed to get them, so let's unbox it and take a look at what I got. And I'm actually gonna do it on the floor here because it's kind of too big to put up here. I'm just gonna do it right here on the floor. Close enough, that's enough. Eli packed very nicely. Okay, let's look at the first one. Dude, you're like a master packer.
What'd you just call me?
All right, the very first mask is Cyclops from Immortal Masks. And it is normally, I have my laptop over here. It is normally around $685. Wow. Immortal Masks, always amazing. This thing is so freaking cool. The eye holes are right here inside the nostrils. Again, like most Immortals, they're kind of a harder acrylic or plastic teeth, so they're not gonna bend. The attention to detail was awesome. The wrinkling, the paint job, unbelievable. And that eye, you can't really see it, but it is so freaking cool. Now, one thing I do wanna say, I'm not sure how this would work on film very well because, you know, there's mouth movement and that's all great. You can't see the actual actor's eyes, so that's all great. That kind of stuff would be easy to hide, but this eyeball will never move. Maybe you could do some digital movement like adding a blink or adding some eye motion to it. I'm not quite sure if that would look good or not, but I'm sure some people can make this thing look awesome with a little tiny bit of digital trickery. But wow, I'm really impressed with it. This thing is amazing. Cyclops from Immortal Masks, usually $685. I got both of these and 2 head forms for right around $500, which is amazing. I couldn't pass it up. So here is Cyclops. Let's look at the other one as well. All right, and the next mask is Visitor. Another alien mask. I'm kind of obsessed with alien masks, and there's gonna be more on that very soon. This is Visitor from Immortal Masks. I have the other 2 alien masks. I think they have 4 total, and now this makes 3 of their alien masks in my collection. I thought it was awesome. Now remember what I said about the eyes can't move on this one, while on an alien one it doesn't matter because it's black and you can't tell which way it's looking anyway. Again, you're looking through the nostrils on this one, and Immortal, always unbelievable attention to detail. They are so freaking cool. I love it. I'm excited to have this in here. Oh, one other thing I forgot to tell you about this one also. I got this from a nice person named Eli who said that it was used in a short, and let me see exactly what he said because it was kind of funny. The Cyclops was used gently in a short called The Cyclops about a shy milk delivery man who also happens to be a Cyclops. How funny would that be? I looked around and I actually couldn't find it online, so maybe I'll try to get a hold of Eli and see if there is a link to see it because that sounds hilarious. A Cyclops. Too funny. So there you go. I couldn't pass these up. They were unbelievably priced and I had to grab them, and I'm happy to have them in my collection, and I might try to figure out something to do with them, which will be cool, so stay tuned. But let's go do a movement video on both of these and see how they look in really bright lighting and see how they look in more movie appropriate lighting like we always do. So let's go do that now. All right, let's first take a look at the Cyclops. The mouth movement is good, and again, this one has the palette on it, and if you remember from any of my other movement videos, I think that the palette can sometimes show up on camera, so one way to get rid of that palette kind of standing out is to stick your tongue out and let it lay on top of the palette so it disguises that part of the mask so that you can't tell it's a mask. And it just looks creepy and weird to be able to see the flesh tongue, the actual moving tongue inside of the mouth. I think it adds a ton of realism to it. And again, that eye looks so freaking cool, but it doesn't really move. So you'd have to be really careful on how you film this, or you would have to digitally move the eye and maybe make it blink to make it look even more realistic. But if this thing is back in the distance or in the dark, you would never know that that eye wasn't moving. It would probably look amazing. But overall, movement is awesome. It's really comfortable, and I like it a lot. Now let's look with a little bit more horror movie lighting. All right, so now even if you didn't have your tongue on the palette, you probably wouldn't be able to see that there was an actual artificial palette in there. It would look really good, but still I like to put my tongue out there because this creature would have a tongue in its mouth if it were a real creature, and it does help to hide that palette. But with the dark, moody lighting, it hides a lot of those different things. You can't really tell that the eye isn't moving, and again, if you can light it a little bit differently, or you can use a little bit of digital trickery in order to hide that, but this thing looks amazing. If I stumbled down into my basement and saw this creepy thing down there, it would freak the crap out of me. This thing looks amazing. I love it. All right, now let's take a look at the Visitor. So this one has a lot of silicone in the forehead area, so you're not gonna get a lot of movement there, but the mouth, the lips grab a hold of my lips pretty well, and the movement is pretty decent. The visibility isn't too bad through these things. I thought it might be difficult to see inside of, or to see out through this vent, but it really isn't that bad. You know, just be careful if one of your actors or you are in this thing. Make sure that there's nothing on the floor. Make sure that the actor knows where they're moving. Maybe run through it a few times without the mask on to make sure, because you are going to have limited visibility in a mask like this, but it's not too bad. It's definitely doable. And the movement is amazing. This thing looks amazing. Those eyes, since they're really dark, they don't need to be able to move around to look realistic. I just think it looks awesome. I love alien masks in general, and this is another alien mask that I have in my collection, and I couldn't be happier. Now let's look at it with a little bit more horror movie lighting. All right, if it looked good in the light, it looks even better in the dark. Imagine this thing on a film location in a real sci-fi style UFO or something with real moody green or blue lighting on it. It looks completely amazing. It's comfortable to wear. There's a lot of silicone in the brow, but it's still not too heavy and not too bad to wear. The movement on the mouth is great. You could probably even do dialogue in this thing. I like it, and I'm happy to have it. Totally awesome, right? Of course they are. We expect nothing less out of Immortal Masks. They make incredible things. If you want to pick these up on your own, go head over to immortalmasks.com and grab them for yourselves and be a part of the cool club. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and do all those things you're supposed to do to help a channel grow, and I will see you in the next one.